Today we are going to tackle Cinnamon Pass. Cinnamon Pass makes up the southern leg of the Alpine Loop, which connects the mining settlements to the west, such as Animas Forks and Ouray, with the mining settlement of Lake City to the east and Silverton to the south. One can access the western end of the trail by two different ways. The easiest is by heading north out of Silverton along the graded county road to the ghost town of Animas Forks. The harder route is by taking the Mineral Creek Trail from Ouray to Animas Forks. Nearly all of the technical terrain is traversed across Mineral Creek.
There went the 8-track.
Once you drop off the $1 Million Highway, you'll be greeted by loose rocky climbs, off-camber ledges, and steep narrow drop-offs. Because of this, we rate Mineral Creek a solid 4, depending on how it has been eroded. This year, one could argue it was a solid 3 rating as we had little trouble, or maybe we are just better at choosing our lines. One thing to note, near the top of Mineral Creek is an off-camber obstacle with craky trees on either side. Those squeamish of heights like myself are naturally inclined to take the higher off-camber route. My cousin stated that he has come across a rolled vehicle here due to taking the high line, stopped from plummeting below only by the quaky trees. In this freeze frame, notice how the vehicle is aligned. Both the high and low sides are too narrow for most vehicles to take on their own, so we would place our passenger wheels right on the edge of the raised rocks passenger side and have a spotter carefully guide us through the pass. In the video, you can watch the spotter keep trying to get the driver to turn the tires driver's side. From inside, most drivers want to move passenger away from the edge. This would cause the off-camber angle to increase and risk rollover. The spotter carefully guides the driver through the pass, ensuring that the driver's wheels are far from the driver's side edge as possible without climbing the ledge on the passenger side. We found carefully hugging the edge to be the best approach. Take your time, use a spotter, and be careful. The typical ledges on Mineral Creek will tax the ground clearance of a stock longer wheelbase vehicle, and due to being loose, traction control is a plus, but it really isn't anything terribly difficult. The narrow shelf roads are more terrifying for the faint of heart than they are technically dangerous, but still take your time and remember uphill has the right of way, but if you find a safe spot to pull over, please do. I'd almost go so far as to say some form of two-way radio communication, CB, ham, FRS talkabout, is not only a good idea, but required in order for the leader to inform your group of oncoming traffic.
I couldn't hear you there. Oh, I asked if it was too narrow. Yeah, a little narrow, but I think we'll be okay. It's comforting to know there's a 4-wheeler with the same dimensions right in front of me.
One pro tip, since the trails are long, please hit your respective trailhead early in the morning. If you are starting from Ouray heading east along Mineral Creek early in the morning, the chances of you finding oncoming traffic are greatly diminished, as the narrow portions are near the trailhead and it takes some time to reach them from the west. Most groups plan on eating lunch at Animas Forks, so if you are pulling off the $1 Million Highway to tackle Mineral Creek as late as 11 a.m. or noon, your chances of meeting cross-traffic on the narrow portions is greatly increased. The ghost town of Animas Forks is the junction of the western end of the Alpine Loop. The northern leg is Engineer Pass, which we have reviewed earlier. The southern route is Cinnamon Pass. Animas Forks is a great place to plan a lunch stop and tour. We have featured some of the buildings in our Engineer Pass review. It was the locals of Silverton and surrounding areas who procured the funding and dedicated the time necessary to preserve what is now one of the finest ghost towns available to the public. It is now under the jurisdiction of the Historical Society and the BLM, so please respect the property and enjoy your stay. From Animas Forks, the southern leg around the mountains to the east is Cinnamon Pass. Cinnamon Pass was a trail originally used by the Ute Indians until the U.S. government decided that since this pass didn't cross the Continental Divide, it could be used year-round to deliver mail. Crazy when you consider the height of the pass is over 12,800 feet. The first road through the pass was constructed in 1877 and did well until the mining in the area declined. Now it is part of one of the premier off-road mountain pass loops in the world, and rightfully so. The views are absolutely stunning. The trail from Animas Forks down to Lake City is significantly easier than Mineral Creek. I would rate this leg as an easy to solid 3 depending on the erosion. 4 low is needed only for speed control on the steep descents and ascents. On more washed out years, there may be some loose ledges where proper line and care will need to be taken, but it is nothing in comparison to the Mineral Creek section to the west. One highly recommended detour is a quick in and out trail on the east side of the pass into American Basin. The views are absolutely stunning, and I'm told the wildflowers in the springtime and early summer are unreal. By late July, only shadows of the carpet of flowers remain, but this valley basin was one of the highlights of the trip. Once you drop into Lake City, you have the choice of reaching the highway and off to civilization, or swing around the north leg and traverse Engineer Pass back to Animas Forks from east to west, completing the Alpine Loop. We hope you enjoyed this short description of Cinnamon Pass. Remember to tread lightly, be careful, and have fun in the outdoors. Please like and subscribe. It's the best way you can show your support and encourage us to provide future content.